debuted in the year 2020. It was officially launched and kick-started in the year 2022. The visionary and founder is no other person than Mrs. Alashe Oluwashe.
Whatever I say, I will do. And there are some people now, our youth, they will tell you that, in fact, if I go and die in the desert, I'm okay. If I die in the sea, I'm okay. Nigeria, I don't like Nigeria, but what do we do? We have to do a lot of things, create awareness, and that is what J. Monica Family Foundation is after. We can't do it alone. We can form a WASHTME coalition. Let all non-governmental agencies, let us come together. Let's go to the grassroots. We are a community-based organization.
We are actually here for the launching of WASHTME, and as you can see, we have war against suicide, human trafficking, illegal migration, and exploitative employment.
You know, they say we are fighting war against. You know, when there is war, that means there's battle. Yes, we are to battle against all these anomalies, against suicide, human trafficking, illegal migration, exploitative employment, and so many things like that.
I want the children to pick from that word, mind to mind. I read today on the social media, one of our JAMBs, 2025 JAMB candidates, failed that exam, scored 190. Getting to know that he scored 180 is when you go and take rat poison.
When your child failed an exam, we are talking about this competition. Look at your parents. She's studying medicine. Look at social science. She's studying Greece 4.
Have the opening program, the opening prayer. We are going to introduce our guests. Already we have students around us from Muritala Mohammed here Airport School and here for secondary school. So I hope we are all well seated. And for the people that came from Abuja, thank you for coming in all over Lagos and from all the other places, far from Ikorodu, anywhere, Ikorodu, London. We thank you so much for gracing this occasion. I'm going to introduce our guests to the high table. Some are yet to come, but I'm going to introduce those that are here. So when I call your name, you come to the high table. Joy, can I have you? Please. Okay, I'll call on Mr. Shebu Matthew. Can we have you at the high table? It's from AD High. College of Counseling and Psychotherapy of Nigeria. Thank you so much. And I'll call on Mrs. Adenike Oluwafemi. Can we please have her to the high table? Also we have Mrs. Oluwafemi, she's a lawyer. Also we have Mr. Fred Uche Oko from NAPTIB, is the Public Enlightenment, Head of Public Enlightenment Unit. Thank you for coming, sir. We also have Mr. Anna Rele. I hope I did not murder that name. Please just forgive me. I'm many names. Anna Rele Chim. You can tell me if I murdered it. Chima is from Nigeria Industrial Commission. Is representing Honorable Abike Zabiri Erewa. You're welcome, sir. So as time goes on, we're going to call on all the other guests, speakers when they are around. Thank you so much. And this has been going on for years. And over the news, if you are very, very current, you will see that girls, boys, they are being trafficked. to other nations. They'll tell them, I'm going to send you to school. They'll tell you you're going to work. Even in Nigeria, a lot is going on. We have illegal migration. So that's why JMO Foundation is launching this today. And I would like you to give a round of applause for all our volunteers. Can you stand up, volunteers, JMO volunteers? They're at the back, they're here. Thank you so much for making this project to come to real. We thank you so much. All right. So we're going to call on the convener of this program, the founder of JMO Foundation. I was there when she launched JMO Foundation. Yes, Mr. Sheikh will be there too. Yes, that was. I think it's going to be 3 years in September. Am I right? And September is her birthday, so she launched it on her birthday. And since then, she's been doing wonders. We've been to so many places. We've been to schools. We feed the hungry from time to time. We go to under bridge. We do some campaign, medical campaign. We give people drugs about kidney. We went to Imeke, Ogun State, a remote area, village, no water, no school, no hospital. And we were there, we gave them books, we gave them condiments, we gave them clothes and a lot of things. And we spoke to them. I mean, when you go to such places where you see a lady that is 15 years old, looking like 30 years old. So we are able to talk to the women, the ballet, in Yoruba and in English. So JMO is doing a lot. And we have the kids, the boys, yes. We pick boys, we keep them, we send them to school, you know, school bags, school shoes. And JMO has just started. You haven't seen anything yet. Please clap for JMO. So I call on Alashi Oluwase, the convener.
And how frustrated you are. You don't give up the rope, but you keep pulling it to the end. But I think such words of advice don't hold water again in this generation. The birth of WASHTME always reminds me of the present Ukraine war. How many of us heard of Ukraine war? I always watch that war every day because I'm a military man. Not because of that, I still want to hear some things about outside the world. The birth of WASHTME always reminds me of the present Ukraine war. When you declare war against something, either an issue, problem, difficulty, or barrier, you go all out for it. This is the more reason we all should come together to declare war against the aggressor, such as suicide, human trafficking, illegal migration, and exploitative employment in our society. The situation is getting worse, and there is a need for urgent attention. Government cannot do it alone. Private organizations need to form a coalition to tackle the root cause. It has been a menace in our society. We all can do it together. No one is exempted. Like you have been doing it before. Let's keep the fire burning until the aggressor stops. We appreciate all the government agencies present here. Representatives of embassies and other non-governmental organizations sitting here, we appreciate your continued efforts. Your contributions will never go unrecognized. The entire team of JMO Youth and Family Foundation are soliciting for your partnership, your sponsors, donations, collaboration for the fight against suicide, human trafficking, illegal migration, and exploitative employment. Having said that, please don't let us say this thing does not affect us. It affects everybody. I will give you a scenario. I don't want to waste time. I remember maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were like looking for a picture, maybe childhood picture of our children. We want to do like a photo frame. And there was this particular picture When my daughter brought it out, I saw it and my countenance changed. My daughter now said, "Mommy, what happened?" She can see tears coming out from my eyes. I said, she said, "What happened?" I said, "Do you know that the woman that gave this cloth to your brother when he was born, my son is 19 years old, committed suicide. She committed suicide. So, do you see that bad experience actually brings something to me after 19 years? It's like a trauma. So we might think this thing does not concern us. It concerns everybody. I'm not their family. I'm not related to her. She's my neighbor. You know, and she shows appreciation to us. She's nice to me. And when I saw that thing, it triggered that trauma in me. And I was crying. So please, don't say it is not my family that died. We all have to come together. And I will give you another scenario. When we went to Imeke village, no light, no electricity, nothing is working for them. The children have to trek 2 miles. We adults cannot even do it. 2 miles to go to neighboring school. Do you know when we give them everything, clothes, they were happy. We video everything. And we were there with a bus. I now told one of the volunteers that, do you know we can, these people, everyone say, Mrs. Alashi, are you a trafficker now? I said, I'm not a trafficker, but do you know that we have given them their basic need, what they need, and we promised them something. We said we are going to look out and look for somebody that will build like 4 classrooms for them, so that these children will be able to go to school. Because some of them, when they go to school 3 times in a week, the following week they are not going to, they have to trek 2 miles to go to school. So she now said, I understand what you are saying. If somebody can, like us, and bring those things to them, and that place, the road is bad, it's not accessible, but we said we are going to go there. I think creating awareness should also go to the rural areas. Don't let all private and government agencies, organizations, don't let us concentrate only on the urban region alone. Let's go to the rural area. They are not accessible, but we'll find a way to talk to them. Do you know that those people, it's not as if they do a lot of work to catch them young. They will just give them something. It's just like a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, you are giving food every day. By the time you want to give them, you want to send them an errand that is not good, they say, maybe it's this brother and this mama that has been giving money, I will do it. And that is why some people lure our young girls into prostitution. Because they will tell you that no family member has ever helped me in my life. So this man has been there. So whatever he say, I will go. Whatever he say, I will do. And there are some people now, our youth, they will tell you that, in fact, if I go and die in the desert, I'm okay. If I die in the sea, I'm okay. Nigeria, I don't like Nigeria. But what do? We have to do a lot of things, create awareness. And that is what J-Youth and Family Foundation is after. We can't do it alone. We can form a WASHTME coalition. Let all non-governmental agencies, let us come together. Let's go to the grassroots. We are community-based organization. Let us go into the community. They don't have any charm. They have words of mouth. That is what they use to lure them into whatever they want them to do. So we can also use our words like advocacy, sensitizing, creating awareness, empowerment, so that people can be free and be self-employed. Thank you very much.
I want those of us on the head table, and also every other person here, and permit me in a very special way to appreciate the chairperson, NACTA Lagos, Mrs. Moronike. Madam, that is one of our major partners. I have to recognize and appreciate her. So, then I don't know, I would have loved to see more than the number of students I'm seeing. Just like the convener actually said, we have to go to the grassroots. Even when we attempt to go to the grassroots, at the urban level, students who are children are the most vulnerable. If I'm talking to what's the name, neighborhood, which is also one of our major partners. I'm talking to the chairperson of NACTA, not to talk of those of us on this table. What am I talking about? The major people that need the message are those other people who are not chairmen. That's by the way, I want to commend the organizer of this program. I know it's never easy. And I remember it was sometime 3 years ago we met, not until just this morning I'm seeing the face. I don't even know her when she called me talking about this program. Say, we will be there. And that is why we are here. Because when it comes to do each of awareness creation as regards human trafficking, we take it seriously. Once again, I want to appreciate each and every one of us. Thank you so much. While that is going on, I can start. Yes, we are a national agency for the protection of trafficking in persons, NAPTI, and I come from the Zonal Command. We have the mandate of fighting human trafficking on one hand, and also the mandate of violence against persons. That is the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 was also given to us to also handle, and that has to do with issues of the domestic violence, sexual violence, rape, sexual harassment, even things such as widowhood practice and so many other things contained in that particular act. I would like to ask the children. That is why I say they are very important. Among other people here, that are the most important people I would like to talk to. This is class what? What's class? Okay, that's beautiful. Can any of you make any attempt to tell me what is human trafficking? Please, I was given 10 minutes to speak, but I would be happier if I speak even 6 minutes and these children go home with what is human trafficking. There will be no need of coming here, and I live here, all of us live here. They don't really understand what is human trafficking, which is very, very common, even maybe possibly in their homes. Can anybody make a attempt? Okay. I know it's always mixed up.
Human trafficking is the illegal intake of persons for domestic use or slavery.
I've tried. Any other attempts? Okay.
Human trafficking may be defined as the misuse of your fellow human beings, like selling them for money.
Any other attempts? Okay.
Human trafficking can be defined as the illegal transport of humans from one place to another against their will.
You have tried, but I know very well. I think we have a lecturer here. If he's in a school or in a class, maybe he possibly scored about 40%. And that is why I always try to make sure. I went for a program where I was training feeder members, that's lawyers. That was about last month. I ran into trouble when we were trying to define this until I had to show them the act. What is human trafficking? Human trafficking is the recruitment, transportation, not illegal, recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring. I had it on the slide, but when I spoke with the organizer, I had to reduce many things, remove many things. Recruitment, harboring, transferring. When you transfer, after you have recruited, you harbored, you get the person. That is harboring. Through the means of, that is what method was used. The means of coercion, threat, force, abduction, not abduction for ransom. Are you with me? Then there are three parts, but the most important is for what purpose? For the purpose of exploitation. Are we together? Human trafficking is the recruit, transportation, transfer, harboring, reception through the means of threat, force, coercion, abduction, or operation of vulnerability for the purpose of exploitation, which in the minimum includes sexual exploitation, debt bondage, child labor. Can anyone tell me the meaning of child labor? Nobody. And you know, NAPTI made serious efforts, got issues of human trafficking infused in school curriculum, including your own school, and many schools are coming first quarter in our agency. Every school is compelled, is bound to be studying it. There are 2 unit schools, SS1, SS2, within that range. That's why I asked you which class are you. And is it not right? It's not the curriculum. Is there? Is there? Thank you. Then they went a step further to begin to establish vanguards in schools. Because the issue is that human trafficking, the most vulnerable are women and children. Between women and children, the more vulnerable are children. Within that children area, the more vulnerable are their child. Just on Saturday, if you are following the news, we had how many? 70 what? 74 brought from Cote d'Ivoire. The case you have been hearing about that some under 8 years were trafficked for prostitution to Cote d'Ivoire, they were successfully brought back to the peace in our Lagos Zonal Command here. As at last month, we had about 204 all men brought back from Ghana, where they were trafficked for internet fraud. You see young ones. These are just major cases, not to talk of maybe by the time I must have gone back to office, you see cases here and there. So what I'm saying is that human trafficking is so common. Then to make it easier for you to understand, children, hello. We are talking of human trafficking. It talks also the issue of whereby children are okay, is on. Please let me have this. It's also talking about the issue where children are being used as house help, that's domestic servitude. Are you aware that if you are a child less than 12 years as a house help, that is against the law? Are you aware? You are not. I will give you what you call red card. As you go home, keep it with yourself. Give me those red cards, please. I will start giving you. So, that is why we are here today to talk about human trafficking. That is so common in our society. Let me have the first. Yes, okay. Just go. It's a modern day slavery. It's an organized crime. An organized crime is a crime that is committed by more than 2 persons or thereabouts. You do your bit, another person does his or her own bit. And that is why somebody can stay here in Lagos. As somebody tells him, sir, I need a house help. You tell the person, don't worry, I will arrange one for you. You will stay here, arrange somebody from the east or the north. Even by the time the person is recruited, that is recruitment, you have already collected money up front for salaries, including transportation. And you are still cashing out because you are being paid the person's salary. So that is why it's an organized crime. Everybody does this for her own bit. Then the most vulnerable, it involves, it targets men and women as well. Then also involves exploitative purposes such as sexual exploitation, forced labor, bondage, domestic servitude, forced begging. You know the meaning of forced begging, children? When you are being forced to beg for someone, you beg and give the money to another person. That is forced begging. If you are begging on your own, it's entirely a different thing. Then you also have child labor, like I asked you. Do you know the meaning of child labor? No. Child labor is when a child does a work that impairs her development, physically, mentally, and otherwise. Are we together? And what are those kind of things you do that are child labor? Being a bus conductor, or possibly like this child, carrying a 50-liter jerry can, or doing nanny work. We actually have gotten one, so many of them. A school that had about 70-year-old man as the owner with their wife, 60-something years. They had 2 girls under 12 years. How did we arrest them? A neighbor reported that the man usually beat those people mercilessly. And each time he wants to beat them, he will remove their clothes, beat them direct on their bum. And you know, means for you to beat a child that is almost 12 years, that are already developing. So we now pick them. At the end of the day, we discovered there were several marks on their body. And what was the problem? That they didn't clear the table where their grandchildren ate carrot during last December when they stayed from abroad. And so we discovered that the man had been beating them. In the process, we discovered that they are doing nanny work, but if you see how they dressed with their school uniform with tie, they look so wonderful and beautiful. But behind, they were doing the nanny work in the school where they have crash. Are you getting me? And that is why it is said that people hire children to do nanny work, and that nanny work you are doing, you are not supposed to, that is above you. Because a child is one who is how many years? 18 years. No matter the thickness of your neck or your height or your size. Once you are below 18 years, you are a child and cannot negotiate for yourself. And people go for child labor because they want cheap labor. But you have what you call light work and child work. What is child work? The work that improves the optimal development of a child. Are we together? My focus now is on you. Not that another person should not listen or follow me up. But I want you to go here today, to live here today, and go home with something reasonable.
That was powerful. Can I please clap for him again? Thank you so much for that. All right, I think we've gained a lot. I'll still be coming to you, so everything you're learning here, I'm coming back to you, so my eyes, like I used to do like this, my eyes are on you. All right, thank you so much. And to all our guests that are just coming in, you're welcome to GMO Foundation, and we are launching WASHTME. Thank you so much, sir. As I was speaking, we have a guest in our midst. We have Dr. Sam Uche. Can you please rise, sir? He just came in. He's an actor, if you look at him very well. I want to tell you something, sir. The first time I saw you on Super Story, there was one part you had, one wicked part. You can hear.
Yes, Mr. Richard.
Mr. Richard, yeah. The hatred was, I got to forgive me, you know, but it's nice to see you in live. You're welcome, sir. Please clap for him once again. The first time I met this man, I was in class. I'm a professional counselor. I met him in 2017 or so. And he thought it was mental class. The man almost scattered my head with his psychosis, hallucination, and all those things. And it was one of the courses I'm always scared of coming, you know. I thought I was the only one before I realized that it was almost all of us. But now I don't dig it, I stand it, anything mental health, I'm in. So he's a powerful man from ADI, College of Counseling and Psychotherapy of Nigeria in Lagos State. Let's welcome Professor Shegun Matthew.
Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. I want to welcome everyone this morning. Firstly, I want to appreciate the convener, Mrs. Alashi. God bless you for what you do. Standing on all existing protocol, I also want to acknowledge our speakers and people on the high table and all the special guests here. I'm going to be telling you some few stories, and I want you to go with the impact of those stories on you. Firstly, I'm going to talk about suicide, mental health, and I will tell you in the context of what we are here for today. You know, they say we are fighting war against. You know, when there is war, that means there's battle. Yes. We are to battle against all these anomalies, against suicide, human trafficking, illegal migration, exploitative employment, and so many things like that. You know, yesterday I read online that one lady, I think her name was Odewusi or so, she committed suicide because she failed JAMB. And few hours later, the registrar of JAMB came out to say they made a mistake and somebody has died already. When I saw the registrar talking, I was so distressed. My wife noticed, said, what happened? I said, I read earlier on that a lady killed herself. and then a few hours later, due to human error. Because last year she scored a bit more, she couldn't enter university. So this year she scored 190. Hope don't go. And she thought what she needed to do was to commit suicide. And she died. Every week somebody killed themselves in Nigeria. That we even hear. Every week. Sometimes it's more than one. We hear someone commit suicide. And let me just give you data, just to put it into perspective. Globally, we have about 970 million people suffering mental illness. That's about 1 billion amongst 10 billion people on earth every year, globally. And amongst those, about 720,000 people kill themselves every year. Every day, about 3,000 people kill themselves globally. Those are the ones that are recorded. Let me just bring it to your awareness. Probably more than 80% of Nigeria live in the rural area. So when we even have record, it's for people urban that went to the hospital. Many happened at home and it was not recorded. So we're even talking about the minimum that were recorded. So about 3,000 kill themselves every day. In fact, let me let you know, suicide is the 4th leading cause of death in the world. 4th. And mental health is one of the leading cause of death in the world. Mental health in Nigeria, according to World Health Organization, this data from World Health Organization, according to World Health Organization, in 2018, they said 30% of Nigeria suffer one mental illness or the other. 30% means 60 million out of 200 million. It means that 1 in 10 people is going through one mental illness or the other. So in this room, I don't know how many we have, probably 50, right? Probably 50. I know what is going on in your mind, God forbid. Now you forbid, he doesn't forbid, it's a reality. It not be my portion. All the people that we are saying, it's not their portion and they happened. So in this room, probably we have close to 5 or 6 people that may be experiencing one mental illness or the other, and they have potential risk to commit suicide. I meet these people every day. Every day. Yesterday, I was talking to a family of a woman that was taken to the UK for all these caregivers work. And she went to the UK and she got there, it wasn't what they promised. And she was almost going to kill herself in the UK. They had to bring her to Nigeria. And the story, what happened yesterday was the family denied of the reality of what the woman is experiencing. And they wanted me to doctor to filter the report that they want to send to the UK because it's going to affect our immigration process. So, it's an epidemic. It's a public health issue that we're experiencing. So, and in 73%, so suicide is more prevalent in the low and medium income society. So the poorer the people are, the higher the risk of suicide. So all those places that all these market that they've been, suicide rate is higher there because mental health issues are more prominent in low income or poverty area. Do you know why? Because like I used to tell my people, the people that are privileged to see us when they experience some mental illness, there are people that even have the money. There are people that even have the knowledge that there is therapy. I'm sure many people here in this room don't even know therapy is available. In fact, let me tell you this family I talked about. Do you know that the brother that is undermining the mental illness the sister is experiencing in Nigeria is in Canada, and he has been in Canada for over a decade. And he was telling me, no, my sister, spiritual maternity. The woman they brought her to Nigeria, they've taken her to 7 deliverances, and I asked, because the young brother has been in Canada, he has been in Canada. I was saying this in my house this morning, and my brother said something. when I went to see him on Easter Sunday, he was at the hospital, and I was complaining about somebody that has been in the US since 1983, and I said, see this man still behaving like a local man, he's our relative. And my brother says, Shegun, if they take goats to America, he will still remain goats. I didn't hear properly. I said, I stayed in the UK for about 10 years and I practiced there, and it changed a lot of things in me. He said, Shegun, you didn't hear me very well. I said goats. I said goats. So he said, if you take goats to anywhere, he will still come back as a goat. So regardless of what they've been, if we still constantly see have this cultural, traditional mindset, we will not do the right thing. We will not do the right thing. So let me just give you these few things. Human trafficking, illegal migration, and employment has severe and lasting mental health consequences for survival, including psychosis, anxiety, depression, and PTSD. So let me tell you, let me just break that down. I used to consult, I'm still consulting for one NGO. In fact, is a rehab home that they bring people that NAPTIP rescue from child trafficking. So they take them through a reformation program when they want to reform them. And most of these girls, they are between 15, 16, 17. And few of them, when I asked about their experience, some of them told me that they have to sleep with about 10 men in one day. That they have to sleep, some of them, they will say they will sleep with 15 men. And I was wondering, and this one of these ladies, she has been there for 14. At the time I was seeing her, she probably around 16. And they will say in a day, so the day where there is no market is 6 men. I said my child women go back or every day go now. He said they will have to sleep with average of 10 men. And they were like, your own are 10, my own are 12 because they are different madam. These girls, they were in 15, 16. The oldest probably around 17, but mostly from 15. And they've been like that. And do you know what? Before they even traffic them out of they have been doing this in local protests in Enugu, in Kaduna, they are so common in the east because most of them, you know, they are from the east. In Enugu, in Abia, in some local areas. So they've been there from 12 years. They've been sleeping with them. After a while, they will now take them, they transport them through the border to all the other places. And the thing now get worse. And you need to come and tell, you need to hear what they made them go through. Let me emphasize again, at the age of 14, 15, I was marching, I said, so these girls now, some of them, probably in their lifetime, over 100 men have slept with them in 2 years. In 2 years. Should we not even talk about the amount of sex they've had in less than 20 years? So when this lady, when they bring them to this facility, you know they are not normal. They are not normal. They are not normal. In fact, the people in the house, in the home, the resident, where they put them, they complain about some kind of misbehavior because they can't be normal. In fact, many of them, they still want to go back. They still want to go back. You see what has happened to their mind? Their mind has been messed up. There's something we call conditioning. Conditioning, let me tell you what conditioning is. Any behavior will repeat over time. He conditions the person, he reinforces that person repeating that behavior. What it means is that, you know, some of you that bake, you know, when you have mold where you put the cake. So when conditioning happens, he has molded that person. And the person did not see any other way to survive or to live than the way they've been molded. So that's why it takes a lot of effort to reform their mind. Because if they ask them, what would you want to do? They don't even know what to do. They don't even know if they want to go to school. And if they release them there, the attractive place they will go afterwards is to go and start doing prostitution. It's an epidemic. And this lady, these girls, what will happen is after a while, sometimes they realize some things have happened. That's why you see that some of them, because at that time they've done tens of abortions, if not hundreds. And then what happened, they realized that they just realized that life is passing them. Yeah. Before you know, they go into drugs. Because they don't want to think about their life. You need to imagine how some of these men use them like piece of paper. So, and this thing releases chemicals in their mind. And these things make them feel they have to use something to suppress the mood. So, what are some of the risk factors? Some people that suffer mental illness, they are at risk. And they use substance, they abuse drugs. And they go through trauma. You can imagine the kind of trauma these people have experienced. And what's my message for you? Your responsibility, one, please, be sensitive to be mentally aware. See, mental health issues, majorly they are not spiritual issues. Mental health issue, what happens is that something happens and the flow of chemical into the brain. So imagine if the brain can only process 50 mils of, let me say 1,000 mils of some chemicals. And trauma like this has happened to a very young girl from age 12, age 14, 15 till she's 20. And you can imagine chemicals that the brain can only manage 10 mils and 100,000 being released into the brain. What do you think will happen to the brain? It can only manage 1,000, but 100,000 is being released into the brain. What do you think will happen? It will explode, exactly. It will overwhelm the brain. It will stress the brain can pack up. And that's what you see, the presentation you see, that's what causes mental illness. So please, I want to tell you, please be mentally aware. Be sensitive to abnormalities you sense in people. Be sensitive to people's mood. Be sensitive to people's mental state. Be sensitive to people's emotion. Be sensitive to their behavior. If you feel that something has changed in somebody, please do something. What else should you do? Please, let's reduce stigmatization. A lot of people live in denial. This family, I told you, this woman, she's 50. She went to the UK with her 4 children. She got to the UK, there were no jobs. Before you knew it, she became psychotic and depressed. And they had to take her to the hospital. They took her to PQ. She was in the PQ for 3 months. And the brother in Canada is telling him, my sister did not have mental health problem. I said she was sectioned on mental health section for 3 months. If you are in hospital in 3 months in UK, oh serious man. They not even only just admitted that. They admitted that in PQ, psychiatric intensive care unit. Imagine if you are in PQ in Nigeria. Do you know what that means? Matter is serious. And the brother is in Canada telling me that, no, it's only small trauma. Don't put it in the report that my sister has. She was suicidal. She wanted to jump from a height in the UK. The family brought her to Nigeria. Do you know what they did? They were taking her to churches for prayers. See, please, be mentally aware. Things are happening. Be mentally aware. Let's reduce stigmatization around mental health. And then, please, lastly, when you feel you see some behavior that you don't understand, please seek the help of professionals. They are available. If you don't know therapists, at the hospital, request to see a psychiatrist. But they are professional. People like counselor, Madam Alashi, she's a counselor. This my pretty mama here, she's a counselor. Most of these people you see in that uniform, they are counselor, or they will lead you to where you will seek help. So please, let us be sensitive to our own mental health and other people's mental health. And my last word is, please mind your mind. Because if you don't mind your mind, something will happen. Because your mind is the production factory. Everything you will do comes from your mind. So watch your heart with a lot of care, because out of it comes the issue of your life. What you become in life is in your mind. Whatever, either good or bad, is a product of your mind. So that's why you need to give attention to your mind, because the optimization of your mind determines what you become, and the terrorization of your mind is determining where you will end. I want to leave you with that. I pray that God will continue to expand the J-More impact, and God will continue to help all these vulnerable people. And so, thank you. God bless you.
All right, thank you so much. Can we clap for him? He said, mind your mind.
My name is Dr. Mrs. Magnet Onan, and I'm the Child Protection Network Coordinator for Acadia Local Government, and I'm glad to be here. I work with female sex workers as well, and most of the girls, they use drugs, they are into sex 24 hours in a day. A lot of them have mental disorders right now, and we are trying to see how we can help them out of that. We are working in Agede and Ifakole, the local government right now. Inside most of the brothels in Oja and Saleh, the place is terrible, sickening.
So it's real. Anybody here? Any experience you had? Say something, sir. It's real. Tell the person next to you, it is real. It happens daily. It happens daily. I was having a chat with someone early this morning, and the person jokingly said, anybody that wants to commit suicide will not write a letter, they just go and die. And I was like, sometimes people are writing the letters, we don't take them serious, they'll just say, no. If they really want to commit suicide, they would have died. They won't have remembered to write letters. What do you think? People that inform you that they're about to commit suicide, are they serious about it or they're just joking? They are serious about it, right? It's not about why will you have time to write letter when you want to die. Why did you die and you didn't write the letter? You want to say something?
Sorry. My name is Honorable Assistant Adebayo E.T. Aga. Just want to pick something from last speaker, mind your mind. I want the children to pick from that word, mind your mind. I read today on the social media, WhatsApp, one of our JAMBAs, 2025 JAM candidates, failed that exam, scored 190. Getting to know that she scored 190, she went to go and take rat poison. Mind your mind, she felt bad. She has taken this, and when she started feeling the pain, she started regretting. And I have to confess to people that it was too late. She died. So please mind your mind, very, very important. Thank you.
And sorry, you know it was said that
this is not from traffic now.
Yes. You know that it was said after 30 minutes, they shot that.
After 30 minutes.
Wow.
And they gave her admission after 30 minutes.
Wow, after 30 minutes, you now got the admission.
JAM should be held responsible.
JAM should be held responsible. Oh, interesting conversation. I'm sure for most people, yes, don't worry, we'll get to that. Now, I realize that we are really bitter about this and like the energy in the room. Why were we not talking before? It shows that we're really angry about this society issue, right? Children, are you feeling the energy from the parents? You are feeling the energy. They are not happy about it. When you guys are smiling, what's happening? Okay, teacher wants to talk. Don't worry, we're going to have panel session, but in 30 seconds, okay, just 30 seconds, it seems that the energy in the room, I think I'm loving the energy. Ma, just 30 seconds, just come and share your thoughts. Ma, you can come forward. And this is why we are doing this before GMO comes in, is for you to know that in all that you are going through, there's a foundation that can really help you in this situation. But what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Mrs. Abiola from Lagos State Safety Commission. I want to reiterate on what my fellow parents have just said. But I want to tell you that in all things that we do, we should also know that parental failure contributes a lot to this. When your child fails an exam, we parents, we are turning life into competition. Look at your fellows, she studied maths. Look at so. She studied 364. Am I not paying the same school fees? You are already affecting the mental health of that child. I can tell you that child must have gone through a lot for her to have thought of committing a suicide. I have a similar case. A friend of mine, the daughter runs the JAM. This is the third time that girl is writing JAM this year. And immediately the result, in March, she got 250. And when the main result came, this girl had 150 something. So immediately the result came, I've been following her on an admission issue. So I immediately called the mother. I said, please, mentor this girl, follow her up. That is where safety comes in. I'm a safety person. So safety is part of your life every day. If you are not careful with what you do, if you don't take safety as a priority, if you don't invite safety culture, it affects every aspect of your life. And that's the truth. I called her and I said, please, monitor that child. Do you know why? This girl happens to be a twin. My friend has 4 kids. The first 2, immediately they finish secondary school, United States. And this girl is a twin. The twin brother immediately also immediately he finished, he entered Unilag. Whereas the only girl is writing jam at short time. And the orphan already has a mentality that if others are going through to Unilag immediately, what happens to you? Do you know where parents' failure comes in at times? So they already made that to feel if the other 3 children got it right, what happens to you? Why are you not getting it right? So please, parents, we need to be careful the way we handle matters, and that determines the mental health of our children and ourselves. So what happens to that family now? They've lost her.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I can see that the children are now clapping. Has she spoke your man? Say thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. The day I heard this slogan, my life changed, and the slogan is Kolofa. So the person is like Kolofa. A different stage of life. You know, I'm trying to think back when I was trying to get into university. I thought that was the peak of life, right? Right? Then you think that's the peak. But with every stage of life, then when you overcome something, there's something else. Do you understand? So one more contribution, because we're still going to have panel of discussion and it may be very engaging. But I like the fact that we are now coming out. This matter is serious, right? It's a serious matter.
Good morning, everyone. We are currently running a project with AWDL for sexual violence, and we have met a lot of survivors. So there was this girl that was, like this suicidal is a thought and it's a kind of low esteem is usually the cause of it. So we didn't even know that this girl, through one of our sensitization, she was contemplating on suicide. She wanted to kill herself. So during our sensitization, there was this section that's somewhere around the battle. We went there for some kind of sexual sensitization. She came out openly and she just started crying. She met one of our colleagues and she said that this program will that actually tomorrow she has already planned her death. So what is the cause of the death? She said that somebody in her church took her video of sex. Like, this is a girl that has been keeping herself. She's a youth. Just 19 years old girl. Then the guy invited her to the church, that's been over to his house. He has been showing her love, buying gifts for her, that love her, you love her. And you know those kind of correction, and then she came. This video was on his FaceTime, and she didn't know that everything that was done in that room was videoed. And the guy sent the video to her and said she didn't pay 1 million naira. They will post the video. She said she don't have the 1 million naira. And they started sending the video to some of the friends. Some of the friends of this guy started sending the video to her. So she was going to die. But eventually, they were tracked down by the grace of God. And they are already including me right now. Thank you.
God for that. Wow. I'm happy that we know that these things are happening right in our community. And that's why we really want to talk to you about what JMO is doing in the community. And we have different cases where JMO is in the community, and you hear about someone that's had a 5th child when she's struggling to have a 4th child, and she's committing aborting the child because she doesn't even know how to care for the 5th child. A lot of things is happening, and JMO Foundation is doing a lot. But we're not doing justice to just stick to it when we are not watching the documentary. So I'm going to quickly call on someone to take us through some of the activities of JMO in the community. And she's a dynamic and essential youth. She is a weary joy. She's a mental health advocate and a public speaker and writer. Please, a round of applause as you take us through the documentary of JMO Foundation. Thank you very much.
Alright, thank you very much, ma'am. She's actually my mentor. Please let's celebrate her. Okay, so I will start with the history of JMO. JMO actually was vetted in the year 2020. Yeah? But it was officially launched and kick-started in the year 2022. The visionary and founder is no other person than Mrs. Alashe Oluwaseyi. Please can we give a round of applause to her? She's really doing amazing. Yeah, actually she's a social worker, a relationship professional, a therapist, a family and marriage therapist. Thank you very much. Yeah. So JMO Youth and Family Foundation kick-started officially in the year 2022, and it was registered with corporate Affairs Commission. You might want to know the focus of JMO Family Foundation. Next. Thank you. Yes, their mandate is to prevent sexual and gender-based violence, promote welfare and good livelihood of women. So their focus is into mentorship, advocacy, community support. So they start with the gap of the vulnerable, the entirely displaced person, illegal migrants. They make people to know about them and they solicit for help. Yeah, community help, that's why you see it. Okay, so then let's go to their vision, passion, and mission. So their vision is enabling growth and self-actualization. So their passion is all about humanity. They have passion for humanity. They just want to see anything best for humanity. Like a famous quote, I would say, we actually rise by lifting others, right? Who can tell me who gave that quote? We rise by lifting others. Anybody wants to try? Robert Ingerson. Thank you very much. So we rise by what? Lifting others. So if you hear about JMO, all they just want to see is the betterment of people out there, the vulnerable, the illegal migrants, those who feel like they are not good enough. But I want to let you know that with JMO, you are good enough, you are brave. Yeah, you are the best version of yourself. Thank you. So next. Okay, so there are services, education, health, empowerment, research. They offer mentorship, counseling. Mrs. Olasheri, she is a counselor, very good at that. If you need anything, you can go to her. Okay, next. Okay, yes, I want to actually hammer on this. They have done several projects. They have carried out several projects, and these projects are mind-blowing. And I'm still going to play a short video for you on this project because in a society whereby it looks like nothing is happening, if you go to the rural areas, you will see what I'm talking about. But this foundation has gone beyond us to do the undoable, like they are helping people out there, and they are soliciting for your support, your partnership, because we really need to invest in the girl child, even the male child. So their project, they empower the community, they feed the hungry. You will see a video on that. Keep up the boys and keep up the girls challenge. You will still see a video on that. Health is well, help impact men as an agent of change. This Haimak, let me tell you a short story about this Haimak. There was this boy, his name is Hamari. Hamari is the name of the boy. When he came in contact with this project, Haimak, one of the mentors, actually Hamari is someone who grew up from a family where there was violence. So let's watch the video.
JMO. I don't know. In terms of your background check, so when you say JMO, what is expected from others to say? Okay. Thank you everyone. Before I go into details, first of all, I'd like to say I've been sitting down there, and personally for me, I feel that this is going to be a wonderful organization. I think that God has really implanted this in the hearts of the conveners to do this. And I see this organization, I don't know if I'm speaking prophetically or anything, but I see this organization going very far. And I personally, apart from the organization I'm representing, I run my own organization. And probably after this, I'll see Mrs. Alashi and we'll discuss. I run a CSAB organization. I've been into grassroots chess. I'm a chess player, I'm a chess instructor, I'm a professional chess player. So when I get to, something was just reviving of my faith. So probably after this event, I'll speak with Ms. Alashi and we'll come up with something we could do freely for the grassroots environment. I'll gladly bring up myself for it. So that's what I'm doing. So let me start by this. I'm representing the chairman, Honorable Abika Dabiri Emewa. She's a big mom to me. So you can see why this would mean a lot to me. Because how I actually got to know her is that I was one of her beneficiaries as far back as 2003. I was on scholarship, and at the end of the day, just the same thing J-Mo is doing, you know, trying to help the grassroots, was the same thing Honorable Abika Dabiri also did to me and my brothers. Most of you would not know, but I'm also triplets. But that's just a little bit detailed, so I just want to let you know how this also resonates just towards me, my own self. And when I was sent the proposal to go represent her, you know, it was something that I found as a thing of joy. So I will just encourage the convener to keep doing this. It's a great work. God bless you. So all protocols duly observed. It's a privilege and honor to speak to you all today. And I want to use this medium to congratulate everyone that has partnered with this organization, be it from the organizers and the representatives. I just want to encourage you all to continue. What I will be giving today is just a brief speech on illegal migration. I'm representing Nigeria in Diaspora Commission, popularly known as NIDCOM. Nigerian in Diaspora Commission. And our organization is actually a government parastatal which we are engaging diasporans outside. Nigerians outside the shore of this country. We as a government agency represent them. So you might be hearing everything I don't like the way the mic sounding close. So everything about illegal migration, or you see Nigerians out there that are being treated, mistreated wrongly, or Nigerians out there involving themselves in illegal activities. What we do as an agency, as a government agency, is to help, is to mediate, is to actually also see that these people, especially the best brains outside there, will come back and give back to the society. So we actually hope that Nigerians out there can come back and actually replicate the same thing they are doing. So what we do as a government agency is to see that, you know, Nigerians outside over there can come home and invest in Nigeria. You know, if I ask a question, and let me start like this, how many of us, I'm talking to our students, how many of you want to travel outside the country? You want to go to the United States? How many of you want to go to the United States? How many of you? Be honest with yourself. Okay, I know most of you might be laughing, but the truth is this: it is everyone's dream to go outside there and actually replicate, and actually study, and actually do something great. But actually, the problem is not actually migrating. The problem is many people are doing it wrongly. There is this slogan that we have today, Jakarta. Have you noticed that many Nigerians are now coming back? They are now coming back to Nigeria. It is not necessarily because of we have everything going right. It is simply because they have discovered that there is a need, there is a problem, they want to solve a solution. I used to say one thing: if everyone wants to leave Nigeria, who will remain here and build Nigeria? Personally, for me, I have a nationalistic mindset. And what do I mean by that? I strongly believe in Nigeria. It's not necessarily because I'm working under the government or I'm a civil servant. It's simply because I've seen great potential in this country. And that is the more reason why I'm here. It's not because I'm earning so much. It's because I told myself one thing: how can I be useful to this nation? You see, this is the first mindset we need to have. So I'm not discouraging you from traveling out, because what I will be sharing with you is on illegal migration. But I'm telling you that even if you want to go out there and do great things, let it be for a greater cause. You have many Nigerians going out there and bringing bad name. I was chatting with a foreigner. I don't know why lately I'm not even scared to mention the name Nigeria. Do you imagine that when I mentioned Nigeria, he said, "You corrupt people"? That was the first thing. He thought I wanted to scam him. I'm a preacher. I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, why would someone think this? That sometimes when I'm trying to describe myself, I say I'm from Africa. Now, it is not because of Nigerians we are good people, but it is because of the wrong mindsets. People are giving wrong information about Nigeria to other people. And this is the more reason why through Nigeria in diaspora, we've been able to see that many people would go through the right process and won't do things wrongly. So as a government agency, there are things government ought to do in order to see that illegal migration will be a thing of the past, even though this cannot be eradicated. One of the things the government can do in order to see that people travel out, people migrate, and do it rightly. Number one, so I hope you're jotting this. We'll just look at a few points. It is for the government, which as a government agency, I'm also speaking, but it is for us to strengthen our borders. And you see, we can't do this alone, and this is the more reason why we have to engage other corporate organizations, private organizations.
So we're going to call on someone I had introduced earlier on, an actor. And the first time I saw him on TV, I was like, this man is wicked. But now he's in the house, he's a great actor. We called on Dr. Sam Uche to help us with the launching of WASHTME project. Let's clap for him.
Wow.
Can we please read this out? Can we all read this out at the count of 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Human trafficking, illegal migration, and exploitative employment.
All right, thank you very much. Can you put your hands together for yourself? Thank you. I hope you get it. So this WASHTME explains all of this, all right? So the war against, can we say that together? War against suicide, human trafficking, illegal immigration, and employment. That's basically what we're here for. And of course, we've seen the video, the documentary played. You see they've done so much, but this time, I think they're now going back to their vision statement. If you have this, you can also quickly look at the vision statement, where every individual is empowered to live a safe, dignified and fulfilling life, free from the threats of suicide, human trafficking, illegal immigration, and exploitative employment. Now this is the issue. This is our problem. And the beauty of this is you don't run away from the problems that will still eat you up. You face the problem and then you get to deal with it. That's basically what humanity is about. Humanity is about making, the world a better place. So just like the song she took earlier, the Michael Jackson song, it's about, giving to make the world a better place. And I know you recognize me very well. Well done. All right, guys. So we're here to do this together. It's either in cash or in kind. So we have. Okay.
We're going to unveil.
All right, so we're going to definitely unveil this. Yes. All right, so we're going to unveil this project, WASHTME. And this will be a public presentation to, the public. I'm sure we have a lot of media houses in the house. And of course, this is the brainchild of Mrs. Alashe Oluwase, a social worker for excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you, on behalf of J. Moore Youth and Family Foundation, the launch of WASHTME program. Can we please rise? Can we please rise as we celebrate the launch of WASHTME program? Please, a round of applause, a round of applause. Okay, so if you're wearing these t-shirts, I think you can join us. If you're wearing these t-shirts.
Yes, volunteers. Before the volunteers come up, I'm sorry, I have to do this. They might not like it, but I'm going to do it. Our children are here. Can we have Eniola Chikemi, Alashi here? I have to bring that protocol. They've been there for their mom, and Chikemi is part of the foundation. And Eniola, can you please come up here?
Oh, great.
This is our daughter. Miss Oreoluwa, can you please come up? That's our baby, Oreoluwa. And that is Mr. Eniola. We have the lovely Abashi family here. So, these are children. I'm sorry I have to break that protocol. Eniola is going to kill me. He doesn't like being put on the phone. So,
okay, I think I'm going to take this picture. Let me have one of them here, yeah. Okay, maybe the guy can come. All right.
So we'll take pictures so that we can be here. And then okay.
Let's celebrate the founder, Mrs. Alashi Oluwaseun. You might want to say something to
us. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Our team really appreciates you. And like he said, we need partnership, we need collaboration, we need sponsorship, because we cannot do it alone. It's a huge work. That is why we said the government cannot do it alone. And that is why we have non-governmental organizations. So we should come together and help. And if you know anyone that can help, because we need to go to the grassroots. We need to go into the community and see what is happening in Nigeria. A lot is happening. And recently I have even read about repatriating refugees from other countries. IOM, International Organization, is doing a lot. NAPTIC is doing a lot, but yet it's still a menace in our society. Because when they repatriate them back into the country, some of them within months, within weeks, still go back. So what are we not doing? So as an NGO, what do we think? It might be information that we need to do. Because like I said earlier on that, there is something these people are telling them. What is that thing? Like I told you when we went to Imeke that we can traffic people there because of what we give them. We can empower people. So we need support. We need donation from people to make us do all these things. Thank you very much.
Okay, in line with what she just said, I know the work is so huge. It's so much, it's a lot to do. I own a counseling outfit, and my counseling outfit will be supporting her with a sum of 50,000 naira. Congratulations.
So if you need to support, please see any of the volunteers. Okay, I want to know, do we have anyone from IOM here? Anyone representing IOM? DSVA, do you have anybody representing DSVA? DSVA? Oh, thank you so much, sir. And do you have anybody representing Lagos Mind? Lagos Mind? Oh, please, can you please come here, sir? Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so we do our last speaker for the day before we go into our panel session. Our last speaker for the day is Mrs. Oluwafemi Adenike. She's a lawyer. She just retired on the 30th of April from the Ministry of Justice. I give her the Deputy DPP, or which one? She was the Deputy DPP. And she happens to be my older sister. My older sister. So we are not just going to clap for her because she's coming to speak. We are going to clap for her. One, I'm in charge here, 1B. Because she clocked 60 years old, 1. 2, because she retired after 24 years or thereabouts. And 3, because she's my sister, and 4 because she's a speaker. Can we give it to Mrs. Adenike Oluwafemi? All right.
Thank you so very much for that warm welcome. I really appreciate it. And I guess by the afternoon now, I can say good afternoon, distinguished guests, and of course, the highly esteemed convener, organizer of WASHTME. That's the acronym. You know that Oyibo is long. It's long. War against suicide, human trafficking, So if you know Sabiturashi too much, just say WASHTME. So a big congratulations to the convener, Mrs. Alashi, and all her supporters and volunteers, workers. It's a deep honor to stand before you all on the launch of this noble, laudable, and needful initiative. So, what am I speaking on? I'm speaking, of course, from a lawyer's point of view, and I want to talk about possible collaborative strategies for combating the human trafficking, the suicide, and illegal migration. That is, we are looking at the justice sector approach. Okay, so we read of all these things happening, and we've had so much being said here. And in the course of my work as a prosecutor in the Directorate of Public Prosecutions, Lagos State Ministry of Justice, where I just retired from, we saw all sorts. You know, I can give you an example of a 10-year-old girl. She was employed. I'm sure she was not getting that money. Somebody else was getting that money somewhere. That's what our NAPTIC man called, what's that word you used? Exploitation. Thank you, sir. Little girl. She was employed to take care of a bedridden old man. Give him his bath, take care of him, he poo-poos on his body, it's her business. And she wasn't getting well fed. The worst part was the wife used to beat her. And there was a time she actually used hot iron dagger on her back for what could have been her offense. Possibly they were feeding her well and she was stealing. I learned that a long time ago when we had house helps. You don't feed them, they'll steal. There's a lot of this going on. We have handled at the DPP, as the Directorate of Public Prosecutions, where our duty was to prosecute the offenders. We prosecute the offenders. We don't allow them to get away with it. Okay, and we have cases of course we've heard of that here. Ladies being lured abroad or to big cities like Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Ibadan, and all of that. They say, yes, come for a job. And there's no job. What they are going there to do is prostitution. Or they do the job and they don't get paid. I had a maid once, and at a stage she told me I needed to return her. And she was like, I should not let her go. That she wanted to continue staying with me and getting her money herself. I said, I don't understand, but I've been paying your auntie. And she was like, they never see that money. I'm sure if I had been at the DPP then, I would have known what to do with that auntie. But as of that time, I was as ignorant as anybody else. Of course, I still returned her because I was not interested in taking in somebody and there's nobody to say, this is her family, you know. And I could go on and on. I remember another case I handled. The girl was desperate for a job. And this uncle, this brother, somebody in the area, just said, I can help you get a job. Just follow me. And she did, innocently. And he took her into a building, into an office, and raped her. Thank God she didn't keep quiet. She was one of the few that went to the police to report. But that happens to so many people. I remember even I got a text message saying, you have, I was successful and to come for interview somewhere. I was like, excuse me, I didn't apply anywhere. Now, can you imagine somebody who desperately needed a job would go to that address? And we learned in social media that all sorts used to happen in such places. Some of them just shipped abroad or even used for rituals or whatever the criminal minds desired. So really, this is a laudable project, and it is very important that we all support. Now, I'm talking about the justice sector, the legal aspect, and I'm saying that the justice sector has a huge duty, not just to prosecute the crimes after they have been committed, but also to work together with other stakeholders to prevent the suffering caused to people as a result of these crimes. So who are the stakeholders? Remember, I'm talking about collaborative strategies. So who are the people going to collaborate? I want to talk about the stakeholders, especially in the justice system. And of course, I will of course start with the council and the ministries of justice, both at the federal and state level, and of course, the Nigeria police, who conduct investigation and ultimately arrest. Yes, of course, the Nigeria Immigration Service, because they want to protect and administer the law that sets them up to ensure that there is no illegal entry into the country. Of course, we have NAPTIP as represented. That's the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons. We have the neighborhood, that's LNSC. They do a lot. People just think neighborhood. There are so many of the crimes I prosecuted that were reported, in short, investigated by them. They did the arrests, and they are the ones who now take to the police station. So many people recognize them and run to them when they see that a crime is being committed. So yeah, they are one of our first responders. I can see LASMA here too, and definitely they are parts of the justice sector. In the Ministry of Justice, Lagos State, we also have the Office of the Public Defender.
Let's talk about trauma-informed care. How do you incorporate trauma-informed care into your practice when working with survivors of human trafficking or illegal migration?
Okay, thank you for that question. Okay, you know, most of the victims, some of the victims that we're going to come across in the course of the job, many of them have gone through trauma. What is trauma? Trauma is a psychological wound as a result of the adverse experience that has happened to them. So, and this wound can cause all kind of diverse mental health problems, most especially, you know, mental disorder that got to do with post-traumatic stress disorder. So when it happens, one of the things we should do is that we should ensure that one, we empathize with somebody that has gone through that experience. Because one thing to happen is that because so many people have gone through the experience and they are not traumatized, does not mean one person will not be traumatized. So one of the things we should do is that we should approach them in a very empathetic way, and then we should do something we call trauma-informed kind of intervention, where you should ensure that your intervention, your reaction is not re-traumatizing the person, so that you know, like, now only you. That statement alone is traumatizing, and we should not speak with them as if, okay. I remember one time there was a lawyer in my estate that had this young 13-year-old lady that was working with her as an housemaid, and you know that this lady was sexually abused by some guys in the estate. And I had the lawyer and a lawyer friend. I was there. They were talking. Oh yeah, she liked this. They don't like your kokorigo. And I was like, 13 years old girl, and every time saw him. So you know those statements, they are traumatizing. So you shouldn't use such a statement because it won't help that person. Because I need you to know that when people have gone through trauma, when they are traumatized, there's a part of their brain that sees any action or reaction as like they are usually very alert, or you know, it's like they are oversensitive. So one of the things when you want to talk to them, don't use statement like what's wrong with you. Rather, you should use statement like what happened. Tell me about your experience. What was the experience? So instead of, you should be mindful. I said earlier on that we should be sensitive to how we react to these things. And lastly, another thing you can do is that be sensitive to the changes in their behavior. If somebody that used to be cheerful at one time, stop being cheerful. Or somebody that is quiet and now become even more quieter than they used to be. You should be sensitive to those things. And when you recognize or you identify changes in behavior, please, you can help the refer or direct them to where they will get appropriate and suitable help. So thank you. I think that will do for now.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, my question goes to a lawyer, Mrs. Adenike Oluwafemi. What challenges are being faced by the justice sector, which is preventing them from optimum performance?
Okay, there's the issue of fragmentation. Like I said, there's not enough collaboration. So each person is just doing his own separately and maybe not being effective enough as expected. Then there's often we have slow investigation, slow prosecution processes. And so many times when a case, we hear about it, the next thing, 1 year, 2 years, people will start saying, they've given the judge money, they've given NAPTIP money, they have given Ministry of Justice money. Meanwhile, it's just that the process is slow. Those are part of the challenges. Like I also said while I was talking, often there's no victim protection and no rehabilitation of the victim to get over the wound, especially in the mental health area. And of course, we're still talking about mental health. It's not integrated into the justice response. Police will just go and arrest. NAPTIP officers will just go and arrest. Mental health issues are not considered. And these people have really not gotten over the experiences, the ordeals that they went through. And this, of course, leads to public distrust. The public does not trust the system, no matter what you say. I remember I was handling one high-profile case, and later, even my own friends, they say, we are not hearing again. Meanwhile, the process was ongoing. The public just does not trust the system. So we need to do more so that they can trust us. And we also need to publicize what we are doing. Does anybody really know what NAPTIP is doing? Or what Ministry of Justice is doing? Or what neighborhood is doing in this area? Let us publicize it.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, she said something about the mental health is not being inculcated. And I think all the organizations here should know that NAPTIP and every other organizations that mental health of the victims, the survivors, should be put in place. They should be made to see professionals that can actually work with them. Because he has said something about the trauma they go through. And also he said something that the public doesn't trust the system. And actually, you got me because at times like, this thing is so slow. But now you are making us understand that some cases can go on for years. Okay, so my question to the NAPTIP, Mr. Fred Oche. Okay. How does your agency, when we talk about employment and economic empowerment, how does your agency support victims of human trafficking in finding employment or starting their own business?
Okay, thank you so much. What we do is that, we have a counseling and rehabilitation department that takes care of the victims, right from rescue up to the point of reintegration. That is rescue. That's you have to do reception, medicals, counseling, rescue, up to the point that I think we have had about 6 victims, that went to high institution, and one is even employed in our office right here in Lagos. So we go a long way, and we have so many partners that assist us, either in learning one thing or the other. And when they come, it is in the process of counseling. We will know what you want. Do you want to go back to school if you were in school before? Or do you want to start one business or the other, or thereabouts? Like this one that came even on Saturday, like I mentioned earlier, 74 of them. We have taken and done what we call a profiling, and the investigation is going on. You understand? It is in the process. We will find where we can help you if you want, because it's not complete according to the law. Because some of them might not really want. I know, like we have always, like it has always been even been stressed by him. There are always serious issues about them, ranging from aggressiveness, because like he says, sometimes most of them take drugs to enable them accommodate high number of men. Most of them do all sorts of things, coupled with the trauma, rape, certain things they have gone through. So when they come back, it takes much more time to get them back to normal persons. But in reality, we do not go for outright securing of employment for them. Rather, we do for those of our partners, and dependent on what you really want to do and what you can do and where we can get it. If you want skill acquisition, we do that. We have many of them that we normally refer to. That is the essence of what we are saying here. We have been saying that there should be need for other people coming on board. If we look at NGOs that want particular destiny, we refer, like Madam rightly says sometimes, there is a task force under the Ministry of Justice, which is being shared by the commissioner himself, then co-shared by the zonal commander of NAPTIP. We have several of them, including the neighborhood. That is where the office is situated, the neighborhood office there. So in the process, other people, NGOs are there. Anywhere anybody can fit in, we make referral. So we do much lot, to make sure that we get them get back to their feet, depending on what they want.
All right, thank you so much. So we can see that a lot is being done. It's not just about, catching up with the traffickers. It's not just about arresting them. Okay, let's go. We have Lagos Mind. It's a counseling outfit, am I right? Organization. What do you do? Lagos Mind.
All right, thank you. Good morning. My name is Joshua Natus. So I'll briefly describe what Lagos Mind is. So Lagos Mind is mental health in development. Is a unit under Lagos State Ministry of Health that is specific for mental health and mental health related issues. So it started way back in 2012, 2013. I think what initially started was there was work to be done because issues of suicide, issues of depression was being recognized by World Health, and then Lagos was being like a center of excellence and also a center for these issues. So back then what we did was to start the work in law. We started in law, and then it was passed in 2013. It was signed by Fashola into law, into bill. So from there we moved into several other things. We provide psychological first aid, telephone counseling. Telephone counseling is a 24-hour line service that reaches out to everyone. We have a project called School Map, that's School Mental Health Program. We go to each schools, educate them, because we realize that resilience is an all-time low in the world, in Nigeria specifically, and Lagos.
Thank you so much. So my question, talking about suicide prevention and intervention, how do you develop a safety plan with clients who are at risk of suicide?
Okay, yes, so thank you for that. I can cite several instances where we've had suicide cases. They could come from chats, they could come from our chat board on our website, they could come from phone calls, they could come from people sending letters to us. So there are multiple ways to go around depending on what the issue presents. So like for instance, there was a lady that called and she was somewhere in a bridge that wanted to jump over.
Now, excuse me, at the back, can you please be quiet? Thank you so much. And continue, sir.
So there's a lady that called, she called quite late in the night, around 8 to 9 p.m. that she's coming back from work and she's tired of it all. And she parked her car and she wants to jump over the bridge. Now, there are multiple things you can do. Now, because we have some association with LASAM Boss, we could reach out to them to pick up for those kind of emergencies, but we cannot because the lady is stressed at that point. So what we try to do is to de-escalate the situation. What is bothering her? Get her to leave the place of immediate danger. That's the first step. So the person could be like, oh, I'm holding a knife and I've planned to stab myself. You could try to persuade the person to drop the knife, take a walk away from that danger first. So after that, we know that there's one critical thing about suicide. They feel hopeless. They feel hopeless. So what we try to achieve is to give them a sort of hope and purpose. So that gives them a thread to hold on to life. So with that, we can order, then the other route we can go. We can either call LASMA to come and intervene at that point because we don't physically present there, or we can call their relative and loved ones who can also be a support to them, to reach out to them, meet them physically, bring them to hospital, and then provide the care they need. So the protocol is diverse, dependent on what issue presents itself.
All right, thank you so much. And for the students, please, I would like to have at least 4 questions from you. You can write it in a sheet of paper and give it to the volunteers. We read it out. If you have any question bothering you, thank you. Okay, to DSVA. Can you tell us what DSVA is all about?
All right, thank you so much. My name is Emmanuel. I'm privileged to represent the Secretary of Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, Mrs. Titilola Vaivo Adeniyi. All right, Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency started in 2024 as a response team. You know, we responded to sexual abuse cases, child abuse cases, and domestic violence cases. You know, domestic violence, husband and wife fighting, relatives fighting. So in 2021, it was constitutionalized in 2021 September. So we have been in the state for about 11 years now. 11 years. So what we are given the mandate to combat SGBV, sexual and gender-based violence, in a holistic approach, as well as our services are sensitive. They are sensitive in the sense that, like he was saying, if we do not put professional touch into what we do, we can easily push people to become more vulnerable to SGBV, or we even traumatize them the more. So we use holistic approach in the sense that we have different departments in the agency. We have counseling units, we have field operations officers, field operations department, we have community engagement units that goes out, you know, because we have 3 things that we do in the agency according to our mandate. Number 1, we prevent. We have preventive approach. We prevent by going about from churches, mosques, schools, in a community marketplace to sensitize and make them aware of these abuses, and as well how to prevent themselves against these abuses. So we do that a lot. If you get to follow our social media handles, you see that. Then we also have therapeutic approach. When it has happened, what do we do? How do we rescue? We have a rescue team. We work with the RRS for a fast and rapid approach. Response to to cases of domestic violence. There are many cases that we have been called in the late night, where we quickly call the arrest, and some of our officers jump out, even from the comfort of their home, to go rescue, by 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So we also have a kind of approach that helps us work on the mind of the survivors till they are okay to fit in back to the society. So that makes us to have what we call empowerment units, and as well as we have a house where we keep them for the meantime until they are okay to fit in back to society.
All right, sir. From what, yes, I want to tell you that Lagos is working. Like I said, I'm a counselor. I remember there was a night someone called me and said it's about domestic violence. The person called me around 12 or 11, 12 years in the night and said the auntie's husband is beating her, he's always been violating her. And that night, I know that their boss, Mrs. Titi, I have a number, and another woman that works with them. I sent them the same message, and the voice note the woman sent, that was around 12, that was 12 a.m. And I'm going to tell you that by the time they woke up in the morning, Mrs. Biba, she responded to me. The woman, the two of them, because I was like, whoever picks it first. And they responded and they got across to the woman. So it's working if you can get their number and call them. So I have this question for you, sir. We're talking about trafficking. We're talking about trafficking. So let's look at the intersection of human trafficking and domestic violence and sexual abuse, because even when they are being trafficked, they use them as sex, they violate them sexually and in so many ways. So how do human trafficking and domestic violence intersect, and what are the unique challenges in addressing these issues?
All right, so trafficking is a social issue, and sexual and gender-based violence can either be a pushing factor to cause these social issues, or can happen in the course of these social issues, like trafficking. Making people do things like labor, like sex work against their will. And most times you see that they are underage. Some of the people they use are underage. So domestic violence can actually be one of the factors that causes trafficking. How do I mean? Because if a child grows up in his family where there is no love, there is no sensitivity from the parents. The parents, they abuse her emotionally by making her open to beating. When they beat each other. When parents, they beat each other before their children, they are emotionally abusing their children. That's emotional abuse. And the children would, there's a philosophy that says that the child's brain is tabula rasa. So they get to see all these things, and they grow up with the mindset of, I'm a weak person. My mother is also weak in the hands of my father. I am. So they have this vulnerable mindset. So they can easily be manipulated or controlled by external people, to the extent that you just find out that your child is no longer at home. Probably he follows somebody somewhere, and before you know it, he or she is being trafficked, from one place to another, and doing things that is against our child rights and is against his or her own, right. Our own will. So what we do is that if we get to receive cases of child abuse that relates to trafficking, we go to rescue the victims involved. After rescuing them, we bring them to the office. Then of course we subject them to counseling, sessions upon sessions, so as to bring their mind back to sound state. And as well, we look for their relatives. We look for their relatives, and we look at how to incorporate them back to the society. And as well, we serve the perpetrators. Most times, the perpetrators are not far-fetched. They are not far from the survivor. There are people they will groom them for some time. Grooming now, how a perpetrator will groom, the way we groom chicken till Christmas Day. That's the way some perpetrators groom their survivors until the day they will eventually carry out their evil
plan. So we also make sure that justice is served so as to encourage the survivor and as well to pass a message to the society at large that Lagos State frowns as child trafficking. So a lot of process till the tail end of making sure that the child is okay to go back to the society.
Wow, a lot has been done. So when we all these things are, all these organizations, they work hand in hand. You have something to say, sir, from NAPTIP?
Just in addition to what he said, I just want to make it clearly, especially children, so they will understand it very well. A case of human trafficking is a case of human trafficking. In the process, domestic violence are always there, ranging from rape, sexual harassment, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, from the beginning of recruitment through transit up to destination. You understand the point? So like Assis, we do refer, like I mentioned during my presentation, we also mandated to handle the violence against persons, which covers, the first thing there is rape, that covers both male and female, unlike where it only covers female. But because of the agency of domestic and sexual violence, we only carry out awareness here in Lagos. We do not prosecute the matter. And when it comes up, you understand the point? If you refer a case to us as the first respondent, you understand the point? From beginning, and we see it's a case of domestic violence, we refer to them. But what I'm trying to point out that I wanted to say is that if a case starts from human trafficking, it is human trafficking. Every other thing that comes in as what they call domestic violence is when you go to court, you say he was trafficked and these other things that transpire. You understand the point? That is how it works. So I'm equally trying to let my good friend know very well. In case you have been coming across a case of human trafficking, don't just treat them and ask them to reconcile and go. When you have done what you can do, remember to refer so that we can comfortably handle it. And for your information, children, if you didn't get this red card, the card that was given out, for those who don't have it, there is a hotline number there, 627. 627 is toll free. That line, if you call it, it is the headquarters will pick it and direct you to the zonal commander of the state you are reporting. So 627 to make or report any case on human trafficking or violence against persons. Thank you.
All right, so the questions that will be coming in from the students. Someone writes here, if a girl is raped and threatened never to tell anyone unless otherwise she will be killed, should she speak up? I would like to take that, sir.
Thank you. This is quite an interesting question because just this week we've had 10 suicide cases, and prominently 2 of them is like this, and one is actually a family related issue. So one of the parents abused the daughter and he doesn't want any intervention to be done, and crazily they locked up one of the therapists that was providing care for them. So Lagos State, as mental health decks, we stepped in and we're liaising with DSV to sort that case. So I want to tell you, you can speak up. So our services are anonymous. You can send us a WhatsApp message and then you get immediate response. You can call our line and then you get immediate response. Please do not stay quiet. Please do not stay quiet. I don't know if I should call the line so that they can know about it. All right, so we have multiple lines and it works 24/7 because people reach us to us by 1 a.m. If you're ready, for the WhatsApp line, 090-9000, that's 9000-6463. 090-9000-6463. That's Lagos Mind chat line, the WhatsApp line. and I know most of us have smartphones. Then the call line is 02 014 106463. I don't know if you got that. I will call it again. 02 014 6463. Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
So you can add.
I want the DSVA, their call. I want your line too.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll do that as well. All right, thank you. So for the case of defilements, underage we call it defilements. We can't say it's rape. For the 18 above, it is called rape. So for the case of defilement, well, you as the survivor, like he has said, you need to speak out. You need to talk to someone, or as well call the toll-free line. We have our office toll-free line. I will be calling it out. I just want to add this to your knowledge about defilement. Anyone that is defied around you that you know, the first thing is to gather your evidence. Gather your evidence. How do you gather your evidence? The clothes or the wares of the survivor should be kept in a paper sack, concealed in a paper sack for evidence purpose, and he or she should, she should not wash her body immediately. She should be taken to a primary health center, any primary health center in Lagos State. When you tell them, of course, they will first attend to you before they begin to come up with whatever. So walk there, let them check you. Let them check you well, examine you, and be sure and have evidence of the fact that you were defied at that time. So please have that understanding. Anyone that is defied, please let that person not wash herself. Let her walk to a primary health center or a clinic, just a medical service center. Let them check her, get evidence of the incident, and then she should speak out and call the office toll-free line. 080, or let me just say 08000. 08000 is on the flyers with you. 08000 333 333. 08000 333 333 is the number to call to report any case of child abuse, sexual abuse, and domestic violence. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to add something first?
Yes.
Quickly.
Okay, so I'm speaking from the point of view of somebody who has prosecuted rape cases, defilement cases. Now, evidence is key from what the man from DSVA has said. Simply saying he raped me is not enough proof that will put that person in jail. When he said, your clothes, your underwear, your pants that you wore, especially if he has handled it, just put it in a nylon bag and tie it up and take it along to the hospital or the police station. And when you get to the hospital, they are supposed to do what is called a swab. Very key. The man most often says, I am not the one. How do we prove he is the one apart from what you're saying? Now, if a swab test is done, that's cotton wool is used to wipe your private area that you did not wash after the defilement incident.
Happiness and what?
I want to ask a question. I heard when you were talking about the defilement, you were concentrating on the girls. What about the boys?
I have reservations on that. Defilement, yes, can happen to a girl. For the boy, it is not called defilement, it is called sexual harassment by penetration. And for the women rather, the woman, according to the Constitution, a man cannot be raped. A man can only be sexually penetrated. But it carries same punishment. Life imprisonment is the peak of rape or sexual penetration done to a man. So rape simply means, yes, it's also applicable to the boy. It's applicable to the boy. So it's sexual. So rape is a man. Rape is a man, you know, sexually getting the sexual knowledge of another person, penetrating another woman. A woman, whether by hand, by objects, by genitals, you know, that's rape. But when it comes to that of a man being abused sexually or penetrated by a woman, or a man to man, or a woman to woman, it is called sexual penetration. I mean, sexual abuse by penetration. By penetration. So it carries same thing applicable for the boy. If a boy is defied, we also call it sexual abuse by penetration. So it carries same weight of punishments.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, can we have Happiness MOD? She wants to ask a question. Happiness MOD. Are you here? All right.
Alright, so my question is directed to the lawyer. Yes, my academic here. So you mentioned something about building trust between the judicial system. Before I start, I lead the project team at a women-focused NGO, and we do stuff around gender-based violence as well. But now, a girl has been raped or a guy has been raped, and so that thing happens. It will not be more than an hour that this stuff happened, and then it takes a year or two to get justice. How can we reduce the time and the bureaucratic processes that one has to go through? They are dealing with trauma. And you are saying that we should build trust for 1 year, 2 years. You are adjourning my case and taking me to the court every time and every time. I want to know how the judicial system is coming in to reduce the time frame to ensure that justice is being served and at when due. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to take this from the top. As of the time while I was in office, on an average, if 100 files comes in today, I can assure you 70 to 80 out of it will be a sexual offense, especially on children, defilement. Now, for this reason, Lagos State set up the Sexual Offences Courts. So the courts have too many cases happening before them. Most of our sexual offences courts, they sit by 9 and they do not close, sometimes until 7 p.m. The judge is sitting, the lawyers are appearing before him. So at the end of the day, even though much effort is put into reducing the time spent in court, because of the volume of cases, before one court there could be over 1,000 sexual offense cases, I can assure you. So it really is not easy to reduce the time, but great effort is being taken by the Lagos State Ministry of Justice and in fact the judiciary to reduce that time span and get more public.
Hello everyone. My name is Alashiwa, and I'm here to give you 2 points on suicide and human trafficking. So the one on suicide is, the title is The Edge Has a Voice. I didn't write this for those who smile and mean it. I write this for those who laugh like they scream in couches, for those who count pills like prayers, for those who see bridges as punctuation marks to end sentences they never wanted to write. See, suicide is a selfish act. It's a storm where the thunder never asks your permission to be loud. It's the silence that echoes long after the room empties. It's the ghost you become while still breathing. Ever look in the mirror and you see nothing worth saving? Trying to breathe, but the words dissolve like sugar and breathe. Trying to live, but your heart keeps forgetting the beats. Yeah, me too. So let the pain pass through you without building a hole. Let the darkness speak, but don't hand it the pen. Let tomorrow arrive. Red you may be, but yours. You are not broken. You are breaking over. and there is light on the other side of the edge. And the word of human trafficking is called not for sale. They say freedom rings, but some bells never make a sound. Some hands bound before they even got the chance to raise them. She was 15, but they called her grown. Taught her survivor, came wrapped in silence and a stranger's touch. He was promised a future, given a cage. He works with sweat to build your tech, but he can't afford it. Slavery didn't die. He changed his outfit. Why you name, why you look? Now he walks through airports with clean passports. He hides in hotel rooms, behind fake smiles, beneath the neon lights. But I see them. The girl who stares at nothing, wondering what being safe ever felt like. The boy who built your phone, but he can't go home. The one who sold everything, but lost her child to a lie. The world sells bodies like it's fast fashion, one once thrown out. But they are not products, they are not properties, they are not broken beyond repair. They are stories still being written. And we in Jacob Foundation, we are the ink, we are the voice, we are the hands that reach in when the world looks away. This is just poetry. It's a fight, it's a promise, it's resistance, it's justice with a microphone. And they are not for sale. They never were and they never will be. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone who made it here. Thank you to those who called that they won't be able to make it. Thank you. We appreciate you all for getting our invitation even with a short notice and honoring us to be here. The security personnel, members of the government parastatals, non-governmental organizations, CSOs, everyone, we appreciate you and we will never be able to appreciate you enough. But I will implore us that the messages, the lessons taken from this place should not die in us. We all have a duty. We have a duty to propagate the message. We have a duty to ensure that we pass this message across so that people will also learn from it. Let people understand the grass is only greener where you water the floor, not on the other side. We need to make Nigeria great. We need to be able to travel through the right route and not the wrong way. Thank you very much once again. We appreciate you.